future for the 4 Ps: people, planet, purpose, and profit. I'm Swanette, and I'm your host. Welcome to my podcast, Holistic Creators. My name is Swanette, and I'm your host. Today, my guest is Francine Juhlin. Welcome to my podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm curious. I'm seeing behind you something that looks like oils, and I know that we already have spoken a little bit, and I'm curious, and I'm sure my audience is as well. Tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you come to the place? Where are you now? What you're doing now? So what is your story? Can you give us a little bit of insight about that?
I was in the military for 22 years, and I was an aircraft electrician, and it left a lot of issues with my body from all the heavy work and being on my feet all the time. And, you know, those uniforms, the shoes weren't always the best support. So I had problems. I had pain. And over time and taking medication, that pain turned into medical issues. Because you take a pill, and that causes problems. So you take another pill, and that causes different problems. I was on 2 different narcotic pain pills. I was on 2 different muscle relaxers. I was on blood pressure medicine, cholesterol medicine. I was taking handful of medication every day, and I was just existing. I wasn't really living my life, and eventually that led to depression medicine. And then I was just a shell of the person I used to be. Now, I was healthy at one point, and I knew that this was not how I wanted to live, but I didn't know what to do. So I started searching, and I ended up on a diet that just landed me in the hospital. And I thought that I just had to restrict my calories and eat no fat, and that all my problems would disappear. But they didn't. They just got worse. So I kept searching. Well, I did a lot of networking events, and I heard this one lady get up during a networking event, and she told the group that she had a van full of whiny kids after a soccer game, and she put this drop of oil on the air conditioning vent, and within minutes, all of these children were happy. I need some of that. It's called Cheer, C-H-E-E-R, and it's just a very uplifting and cheerful. It has orange and other citrus, and it just really... So I bought some, and I decided instead of taking a chance or just the placebo effect, I used it on the grumpy old men I worked with. I tried on the fan at work, and now these men that I worked with at the time, don't talk to them until after they have their first cup of coffee. They walked in the door, and I'd like to joke with them, "Good morning, sunshine," and I get all these grumbles and groans. Well, while they were making their coffee, I put a little drop of oil on the fan, and within minutes, these 2 men were giggling. Okay, I knew then oils worked, but I didn't understand the implications they had with health. So I used up that little bottle of Cheer. I used it, and I think the most powerful response I got was my husband at the time had just become disabled. He used to work 2 full-time jobs and a part-time job, and now he couldn't do anything. And he was seriously depressed and suicidal. And I used this chair. He didn't even know I used it, didn't know I had it, because we really weren't talking much at this time in our lives. And he looked at me and he said, I don't want to kill myself. Now, that was pretty powerful. So I told my friend, I need some more of this oil. And she said, I don't let my friends buy retail. So we sat down and she told me about the medicinal and the therapeutic properties of these oils. And I bought my first kit and I started using the oils. The first one, because there's a lot to it, a lot of science involved and a lot of knowledge to learn. But I remembered her saying, frankincense is the father of all oils. When in doubt, use prayer. So I got the frankincense, and I put a little here and a little here, 3-4 times a day whenever I thought. The brain fog started clearing. I don't know if anyone listening takes a lot of medication, but it made me feel like I was in a fog. It made me feel like the whole world was happening around me and I was not really there. Well, frankincense helped clear up that feeling. And then once I was thinking more clearly, I was able to make better decisions for myself. So that is the quick and simple journey I went through to find oils and figure out that, yes, they do work, and this was something I wanted in my life.
Well, this almost sounds like doing magic with this oils, like having such an immense change in behavior and in the thoughts you have, and of course, therefore, in the decisions you make. And so what kind of oils are these you're using? So are these organic oils, or where do they come from? Can you give us a little bit of information about that?
Yes, these oils are better than organic. Back when doTERRA started more than 10 years ago, there were no processes or guidelines to follow for quality. So doTERRA made up their own. It's called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. Now, organic, all that means is they didn't use pesticides on the farm. But CPTG means that they tested the plants at the farm to make sure they weren't contaminated. So not only did they not spray chemicals on the plants, but now they've also verified that the rainwater runoff or the farming process did not contaminate the plants. When they harvest, they test again to make sure their harvesting didn't introduce anything that didn't belong there. They test again during the distillation process, and they test again and again and again. And then finally, when the oil is in the bottles, they test again to make sure that the only thing in the bottle is what the label says on it. And a story I like to share, last year we all wanted our cleanse product. And we found out the reason we couldn't get it, they would not offer that product that year. One of the ingredients in that product was contaminated, and they threw away the whole crop. We had to wait until the next season came around to purchase that product. Now that's integrity. That is certified pure therapeutic grade.
Yeah. What are the ingredients? Can you give me some examples for, like, these ingredients are in the oil and you use them for doing something with them, like making people more happy or whatever? So what is the correlation? I'm not I have no clue. I've never been in oil. So what are the ingredients and for what purposes you are using them?
Okay, let me, simple. Lemon comes from the rind of the lemon. They're cold pressed. So they take the lemon rind. So now this is also sustainability. They're taking the part of the lemon that would have been wasted before, and they're pressing the pure lemon oil out of it. Lemon is very uplifting, so that's the emotional, but it's also a powerful cleaner. It's also wonderful it cleans your inside too. It can be taken internally. So with lemon, it'll clean your liver. It'll prevent kidney stones. I have one customer who had severe kidney stones, was in the hospital at least monthly. He puts 1 drop of lemon in his water every day, and he hasn't been in the hospital in 2 years. So each oil has a different emotional component, and it's also a different therapeutic component on what it can do for you, your body, your mind. I have oils for relaxation. There's oils for being to wake up. There's our little motto. There's an oil for that.
Okay, so what are typical symptoms or problems your clients do have that come to you?
I have to be very careful because the United States FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, doesn't like us appearing to make a doctor. They don't like us to diagnose. So I have to be careful how I say this. So if I'm not sounding very forthcoming, it's not that I'm trying to skirt the issue. I'm trying to be FDA compliant for all the American users.
Yeah, but if you imagine people are telling you about their problems, so they're telling you, I always have like a headache, and therefore can you help me? So it is not like you're doing the diagnosis, but people, of course, share their symptoms or what they do have as issues. So can you, like from their side, explain it?
Yes, my husband, first off, he was my biggest critic, and he called this voodoo witchcraft, and he didn't think it worked at first. He said, what are you wasting our money on now? But he doesn't take a lot. He has very bad knees from when he was in Vietnam, and he used to take handsfull of pain pills. Now he uses the oils. He has some other health issues, and now he's reduced the amount of inhalers he uses for his lung problem. He had diabetes, or he has diabetes, but with the oils, we've reduced the amount of insulin he has to take. We've also, like I said at first, the grumpy old men oil, he doesn't take depression medicine anymore. So these are just the problems we've fixed in our household. It's funny, I used the digestion blend on my dog. At first she didn't like it because it smells kind of strong. So it's peppermint and caraway and some really strong aromas. But now I can hear her tummy grumbling, and she'll roll down and just give me her belly and ask me to roll it on her. So even the dogs come to me for natural healing now.
Yeah, and of course, if the animals react on that, we can be sure that this is not a placebo effect, because they are not aware what you are giving them. And this is really like you get a kind of proof of, yeah, so there is like the dog was always in this situation. Now he got this oil and he changed his behavior and relaxed. And so, of course, he's not making up his mind, oh, perhaps she got me some, gave me something and now I'm better. No, of course not.
Right.
Yeah. But coming back to, I think you normally work with humans, or do you also work? Yeah, you work with humans.
Well, I have a lot of pets, so I do have some experience using oils on my pets.
Okay. But your clients are not the dogs, or are they?
No, I do have my clients asking me questions about their dogs, though.
Okay. So, yeah, who are your clients? Like, is there a special age? Are there like people in the mid ages, or are there also younger people? What kind of clients do you have normally?
Essential oils are good for everybody, but people buy from people they know, like, and trust. Well, because I'm 56 years old and I've been in the military, the majority of my clients are former military in my age group. But that's just because those are the people I know. I am excited to meet new people now because everybody in my circle of influence knows about oils now. So I would love to work with new people. Now, I've never had children, so that one's a little new for me, but I do have a support system that I could draw from if somebody else, if a mother needed help with a child. Like one of the stories I like to tell, this young mother had a child with an ear infection. So without oils, she would have had to, I guess, console the child all night because the child didn't feel good. She would have had to make an appointment to go see the doctor. She would have gone to the doctor, then the pharmacy, and then maybe the next night the child might have had some relief. But after she learned about oils, she went to her oil. She got a little bit of tea tree and a little bit of lavender, rubbed it behind the child's ears. The child was able to sleep. 12 hours later, woke up, everything was great. So the oils, it's not only empowering you to use something natural and holistic, but it's empowering you to have what you need at your fingertips whenever you need it.
Yeah, this is really a powerful story, of course. Yeah. And are these the oils you have behind yourself in the, can you show us one of the oils, how they look like?
Sure. There's just two.
Yeah, okay, so these are these kind of little bottles.
Yes, and these are the 15 ml bottles. These are the most common way to get them. And let me see if I can show you this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get used to the camera here. Can you can't, I guess it's kind of hard to see with the lighting. That's a supplement fact. That means this one is safe for internal use. Any oil that has that supplement fact on it means it's safe internally. The ones that aren't, like this is Island Mint, the ones that aren't safe internally, they're great for the diffuser or cleaning or whatever else you want to use them for. So that's just something else I'd like to make sure people are aware of. Because they're certified pure therapeutic grade, they're okay for internal use if you're careful and make sure you get one with the supplement facts.
Okay. And so these different oils, you can use them like taking them inside or on the skin, and the others are more for using them in the room or
Diffuser, correct. Or like when we're out, I'll just put some on my collar. Now, here's another one I forgot to tell you about, one of my all-time favorite. Adaptive was a new blend that came out last year. And I had anxiety and stress issues. I've been working on it. Some of it came from my mother's side of the family. It was just kind of in my DNA. but some of it came from my time in Iraq. I spent a year in Iraq at the very beginning of the war. When they came out with this oil, it was a real life changer for me because all I had to do is put a little on my collar and I could just feel the anxiety just melt away. And it's the more we use the oils, the more I could tell when my husband needs it too. So sometimes I know when we're getting into a stressful situation, I'll oil him up front to try to avoid the meltdowns. So anxiety and stress is huge, huge with the oils.
Yeah, so I think at the moment, as we are in this COVID time, a lot of people are in anxiety and stress about what is going on, about, what will be the future. And there's so much insecurity, and I'm also thinking there's so much fear at the moment. So this could also help a lot of people that are feeling kind of this at the moment, don't you think?
Absolutely. Sometimes I get I buy these kits of adaptive. They come in capsules, and then there's a bottle of oil like this, and then there's also what we call touch that's already diluted, and it's in a roller bottle. You can use it as perfume. Well, sometimes I get extras of these because I use so much of the other two, but because of the cost savings, it's beneficial to buy it in the kit. So when I have an extra one, I'll choose somebody. And last month, I chose a teacher who posted on Facebook that she's just in tears after class every day because she's teaching virtually and she doesn't feel like she's reaching the kids. And I sent her this. I can't wait. She just got it. And I can't wait to see how it helps her in the classroom.
Wow, what a nice gift. This is so nice, really. And so let me understand, and also my audience, a little bit more, like where can they reach out to you? So when you're in the US, and I have, of course, my audience is also in Europe. So where can people reach out to you and come in contact with you?
On Facebook, I have a group called Francine's Oil Tribe, and we do a lot of education, and we talk about the oils. We talk about how to incorporate the oils. We talk about what oils are best for what issues, and we support each other. Because sometimes you just need a pat on the back when you did a good job, or sometimes you just need someone to listen. So we're there for each other in this journey that we're all on.
Okay, so I will post the link to your Facebook group down in the description so that people easily can jump into the group and, of course, get more information about these oils and how you work with them, and, of course, share a little bit about their own story, and you can understand what help they need. And
yes. Yeah, and that's the one thing that I like to tell people. There are so many, there's hundreds of oils and different blends. And when you go to a doctor, and I'll tell from my personal experience, I had severe allergies. And I went to the allergist and I was getting the allergy shots and I was miserable. And he gave me a sample. Here, try this. And I go back to the room. He gave me another sample. Here, try this. That one day he just gave me a garbage bag, or a Ziploc bag full of samples. Here, find something that works. That was my doctor. It's the same way with the oils in a way, because not every oil works the same for everybody. You got to find the one that works for you. So if we don't find the one that works for you, we'll keep trying. Because I am very sensitive. My skin is very sensitive to anything with lavender. So when I'm using things topically, I have to be very careful it doesn't have lavender. But lavender is great for burns and cuts and scrapes if you get a sunburn. Lavender has so many wonderful uses, but because I have a skin sensitivity to it, I have to find other methods. Like for the skin, I'll use tea tree instead. So that's one thing everybody has to keep in mind. If you've had an oil experience, first, was your oil 100% certified pure therapeutic grade? It could have been so cut with fillers and contaminants that you didn't even have a therapeutic level that you were using. So it may not have worked for you. Or you may have not used enough, or that may not have been the right thing for what you were experiencing, because everybody is different, every situation is different. If you're treating the symptoms, the oils will treat the root cause. So sometimes, okay, I'm just going to get down and dirty here. When I finally decided to jump into the holistic lifestyle completely, because I was on that fence for about a year. I didn't want to give up my wine. I didn't want to give up my pizzas. I didn't want to give up all the things that were making me sick, until I broke out in a full body rash. My liver was full of toxins, and they had nowhere else to go but out my skin. Treating the symptoms, treating that rash didn't do anything. I had to get to the root cause. I had to fix my liver, my gallbladder, my pancreas. So if your oil experience isn't working, it could also mean that we're treating a symptom and not the root cause.
Yeah, so this is often happening, like people come with some symptoms and you think, okay, there is, for example, the rash, or there's a kind of skin disease, but going deeper into the problem, you find, okay, the root of the problem is, for example, as you told us, in the liver, because of the toxifying of the liver, and it just comes out like this. Yeah, it could be like having a diarrhea. It could also be the symptom, and the problem is something different. Yeah, of course.
And the doctor wanted me to wait 3 months to go get a skin biopsy. I had to figure this out on my own, because Western medicine doesn't look at root causes. All they want to do is slap on a cream, fix the outside, and let it go.
Yeah, but as you said, it's essential to see it holistically and not like only parts of it, because even if you treat that, it will come back again because you didn't treat the root. Yeah.
Right. And I found that healthy eating is the most foundational element of living holistically. Because if you're not providing your body with proper nutrition, nothing else will work right.
Are there any tips you would like to give the audience that are, from your point of view, really essential?
Well, as far as healthy eating, if it has more than one ingredient in it, it probably isn't good for you. Whole organic foods is the most nutritious and healthy way to eat.
Okay. So now, last time, can people also from Europe reach out to you and, for example, get some oils? Because can they buy them in Europe, or are they only in the US?
doTERRA is in 20 some odd countries now, so chances are it's everywhere in Europe. There's still some areas of Asia and Africa that aren't covered, but they're constantly opening new markets. And then there's also the option that I could purchase them and ship them myself.
Okay, great. So thank you very much for showing my audience what you do with the essential oils, and I'm sure they will reach out to your Facebook group and come in contact with you soon, because this is really like doing magic with this kind of stuff.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.